Danielle, and we have a special guest on with us today. This is Steven, and he is actually a friend. I've known this dude for a long fucking time. Like,
how long?
I think, yeah. How long, Steve?
Yeah. Well, at least since our youngest were three. Three.
Let's share this story. Yeah. So I'll let him share a little bit about himself, but our not our youngest, our oldest. So my oldest and his youngest
Okay. Yeah.
used to spend the night together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people thought it was the weirdest thing. So his wife used to nanny for my kids, and it was just the coolest thing. She is a dear friend of mine. And so yeah, I mean, we've known this family for a long time, but yes, these kids used to spend the night together, and they are boy and girl.
Yeah.
And we didn't care.
Yeah. I didn't care. I didn't think it was a big issue at 3. They were all picking their nose, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's a big issue at all.
No.
But so we have Steve with us here today because Lisa made this comment, like, I don't know, I think it was before the new year, and she was like, you know what, Dee, I'm going to learn some new shit this year. And she started with like piano lessons or whatever. What wasn't it, like the keyboard that you...
Well, yeah, I didn't want to like invest in a giant piano right off the bat. Not even know if I would like it, but they make these keyboards that have like piano. They sound like piano. Yeah. And they have all the piano keys, so you can learn on that before you decide if you want to invest. So that's where I'm going first. I'm starting with that because I might hate it, but I want to try. It's
I need Lisa in my life because it's like go big or go home. Lisa's like, Danielle, get your shit together, think straight, don't do the purchase. And so if I didn't have her, I would own a piano. Neither one of us have the piano yet, but so she has this conversation. We talk about it actually on one of the episodes where she's like, I'm going to learn something new. We commit to this. And so I'm having this like text conversation with Steve, and it's about something completely different. We'll get to that a little bit further on in the episode, but and we're talking about sports, and I was like, well, shit, neither one of us know jack shit about sports, like literally nothing. I sometimes, like, for the sports that my kids have played, I have a son, but he doesn't play like actual, he does like X Games type sports, so not like football and baseball and basketball, stuff like that. And so when I sit down with my poor husband, Jared, and I watch some sort of sporting event, and I say stupid shit like, what inning are we in? And he looks at me like, Danielle,
this is football.
Wrong sport. Yeah. So I thought, who better than to school these fools than someone that has been enjoying this for all his life. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about, like, one, who you are, what you do, but where this passion came from, because clearly we got into a conversation about it. And that's why you're here today with us partially. And so just tell us who you are.
I'm from a small town, Clifton, Arizona, which is, if you know anything about it, it's under 4,000 people. Like, it's one of those little towns that you can walk down the street and the little old lady at the end of the street because she knows your mom or your dad or whatever, and she babysits you. So it's a small town. And in that small town, like, they are Trojan pride. Like, Clifton Trojans is the school. The Trojans is the mascot. And if you don't have maroon and gold running through your veins at all times of the day, you shouldn't be there in the first place. So I grew up, 2-3 years old, trying to figure out what's going on the field or on the mat or on the court. And my Uncle Tony, he used to be kind of like my sports idol back then. He was the big football guy. Everybody knew him in town. One of the coolest things about him is that he would come home and kind of show me like wrestling moves. Let me take that back. I don't know if it was the coolest thing or if I was just a test dummy in the moment. I think it was more test dummy because I was big enough for him to throw around. But either way, I learned some things from that, and that kind of just fired me up for sports. Wrestling, basketball, football. I think he even ran track for a little bit. And that was kind of the big thing for me, is like, I want to be just like that. And I thought if you made it to the high school team, you were the pro. Like I wanted that autograph from my Uncle Tony and all that stuff. So, growing up, seeing him do all those things kind of fired me up. So I went out and started wrestling. I started wrestling at 4 years old. The Trojan Mighty Mites program where you go and roll around, and it's funny to watch them because it's like two little kittens rolling around trying to figure out who's the pin, and then you stop and you look at each other trying to figure out where's what, right? Is that your foot or my foot type deal? So those were the exciting times for me, and I see it in my head that I was a professional, like collegiate wrestler, and I was making a name for myself. But when I look back and I see little kids now, I'm like, that's what I look like. I know exactly what I look like. Like my face was in the mat trying to lick the mat, if anything. That's what all of them do. From there, I went to baseball. Baseball was a big thing for me. Being a small town, kind of like heroes family with my Uncle Tony. I played baseball. Everybody knew me already. My dad was a big baseball player. All my cousins are baseball players. So I thought, let's go down that route for a while. Played baseball. When I got old enough, like football. And we moved back to Clifton when I was about 8 years old because we moved out here to Mesa. And we moved back, and my nana was like, there's no sports. They don't do flag football here. They don't do these sports. They don't do that sport right now. I was like, well, then what am I going to do? She goes, you play soccer? I'm like, I don't even know what soccer is. You want me to run up and down the field chasing a ball? I don't know if I could do it. Just to put it in perspective, I wasn't a little kid. I've always kind of been a big boy, like a big, hefty guy. So if you can imagine a 120-pound 8-year-old running up and down the court or the field, excuse me, it's probably the funniest thing you could probably imagine. Shout out to my cousin Ashley because she was my teammate in the whole thing. I just kicked the ball to her off the field and she just go and score the goal. So I was just like, all right, let's move the ball. And now in my head also, I thought I was playing on the Olympic soccer fields and all that cool stuff. So I thought I was a professional in that. But moving forward, I played baseball, all-star teams in Apache Junction, played football in Apache Junction when we moved back out into the city area. Even ran track for a little while. Thought I was pretty fast. I'm going to put my little bragging rights here. I ran a 6-minute mile when I was in 6th grade. So anybody want to sign me up, let me know. Anyway, so I played football, went to high school, played baseball, wrestled, did all the good things in junior high and high school out here in Chandler. And then from then on, I coached football for 10 years while my youngest was playing. I coached some other boys around the team that I'm proud to say that they've gone to high school to play on the varsity teams. Some of them going to college to play on their football team. So, I'm glad I got to put my hand on part of their life and push them forward into that next stage of wherever the sports are going to take them. So for me, sports have always been like just in the blood. It's a DNA thing, if we're being honest. So, but yeah.
I love it. I just don't play sports with balls.
Yeah, we have sports. We have our sports that we know, but they're, we were with gymnasts, and I was a swimmer. I think you did swimming, so we know those, and they're sports, but there's no ball.
Yeah, my mom likes to tell a story all the time when she was at PE that she went to go play kickball, and the ball hit her in the face, and then she was like, "Yeah, I think that was it. That was about as far as I was going to go." I was like, "It's one time." She goes, "That's all it took. That's all it took."
That's literally me. I will not go. I took Jared, my husband, to a baseball game. I was like, this was last year. I was like, I'm going to be the best wife ever. And so sort of when we travel, I like to do these cool things. Once we, for work, I was in Chicago, and when I was traveling up there a whole lot, I took him with me for one of the trips, and I was like, we're going to do this cool thing and do a tour of the Cubs stadium. So cool. Well, one of the times we always go back home to Colorado. Well, I was like, I'm going to be a cool wife, and I'm going to get tickets like right down by the field. Well, because I asked him first, he was like, well, there's a net all the way around it. Like, there's no way you can get hit. And I was like, good, because I just spent top dollar on these tickets. We get down there, and I was like, you're a fucking liar.
There's no
bullshit. That ball absolutely can make it. And he's like, do you know how hard they would have to like hit the ball like up to make it come up and over that fence? And so we are sitting there, and the people there's like 4 rows in front of us before you get to the bottom. The people in front of us sit down with gloves. And I was like, why would they sit down with gloves if there's no chance of a ball getting in this area? And
No chance at all.
he was like, I can't with you. I can't be here with you. You're insane. And sure as shit, there's balls coming over through the entire game, and I'm a loose cannon because I'm like, I'm gonna get hit. Yeah, I don't understand. So baseball is probably the sport I understand the most because I think it's the most simple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's basketball. Basketball for me, I could watch that before anything else.
No, but I mean the rules.
Oh, yeah, I don't really pay attention to rules. I just, and I like that it's fast moving. Like basketball, there's not a lot of breaks.
So there's not a lot of breaks,
not a lot of thinking time.
Yeah.
Right, but in basketball, I hear that whistle and I'm like, what just happened? And I feel like basketball and football, the game starts and it doesn't end for like 17 hours because they keep stopping the game. Baseball, that doesn't happen. And oh my gosh, I was like, thank the Lord that they put that rule in place that they had to keep throwing that ball, because I was like, those jerks are standing up on that pitcher's mound and they're like twiddling their thumbs and deciding how they want to throw the ball. And this game is lasting till midnight, and I don't understand why. Just throw the ball.
Long. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the longest games are 7 hours, 8 hours. That's a full-time job.
That's like golf.
I don't want to do that. I'm glad they sped up the game because it doesn't, it's not slow and boring anymore. Even I had a time to go get a drink, use the restroom, come back before the next pitch. That's ridiculous to me. So I'm glad they sped up the rules on that.
Let's be real. They're getting paid more for their full-time job than any other person on the planet.
That's true. 100% true. There was a breakdown of LeBron James. You know who LeBron James is? We're all clear with LeBron James, okay? Mm-hmm. He makes somewhere around $1,200 a minute. A minute. What is it? That's most people's 2-week paycheck, right? He just stands on the court for 60 minutes. That man's making $1 million. And that's the 60 minutes that they actually play. Not including timeouts, commercial timeouts, breaks in between, fouls, whatever. There's a lot of time where that clock stops. Here's a fun fact. The whole Taylor Swift thing that's been going on. Did you know there's actually only 18 minutes of real football being shown on TV?
I believe
the other 2 hours and 38 minutes or 48 minutes or whatever are done on commercials or timeouts or looking at Taylor Swift and all that stuff. So us football fans are Taylor Swift fans too, just so we're clear. Yeah. They can fight it all they want. They're all T Swift fans. They're Swifties. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm not a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I don't, I didn't even know realistically who was in the Super Bowl this year. So shame on me. I'm sorry, everyone that's listening, but I don't follow football. That is the one I don't follow. I'm happy to go to baseball games. I would sit through a basketball game because I know the ball can't hit me. That's a sport where I'm like, I'm safe. Mm-hmm. Baseball's tough for me. I will pay really good money for great seats for my husband because he loves baseball. And it's like a bucket list thing for us to go see all these stadiums. And so I'll do that for him. If I show up with a black eye and it's because of a baseball, you know who to go after.
What's the name of that helmet that has the cage? Is that for baseball?
The catcher's mitt or the catcher's mask? That's a thing. Hockey mask?
Yeah, can we get her one?
Football?
Anything.
There's a tons of helmets you can wear. Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine what you would do?
You could get the one that has it's the dirt biking one where you can rip off the piece if you get mustard on your face or whatever. I get it. It's so good.
He's gonna be
you just came up with it, Lisa. Sell it.
What the hell, D? I'll be like, aren't we going to the game today?
Yeah, I'm going to do it for you, but you're going to pay the price. Well, what's the price?
I'm game ready. Game ready. You like the guy that shows up at the bar that doesn't have a motorcycle but has a helmet? Yes.
Yeah. One day
I'm going to walk out in bubble wrap.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You'll make it on TV. You'll make it on TV.
So, we've tried, back on the money thing, I've tried to break into that, sort of off topic, but I've tried to break into that, make $1 million quick kind of thing. So last year we decided that I have really cute feet. So that I
Okay.
was going to have a foot finder page. That is a lot of
Interesting.
work.
Okay.
I did have a page for a while, but it's a lot of work. And what we found out is that people are so fucking creepy. They're doing all sorts of stuff with feet that I was like, I'm on a foot porn site. And
Yeah.
while it was really
Yeah.
funny, it was really funny, but I was like, I'm like, they do all sorts of weird stuff with feet. I was dead. I was literally dead. And so Jared would be like, so when are you making that foot money? So then I was like, OnlyFans it is. Like that has to be like OnlyFans fluffy page. I don't know. Like we've got to figure something out. But Taylor Swift has it made. Like I don't get it that she took over football this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the reason why I mean, this is going to start a whole other thing. We'll just be clear. Just be ready for the backlash. There is a conspiracy is that the NFL brought her in because during 3 games that the Chiefs played on national TV, they made 3 times the revenue and sponsorships off of those 3 games that they did all of last season. She took over football. She is football.
Sure. Yeah. Because
It's
now a
insane.
whole slew of people that never were interested in watching before are now watching for her.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
Yeah, but are you saying that the conspiracy is saying that like is it like written that from that very first encounter of like the two of them that was like we want her here at this time to meet him at her concert or whatever is when they met, right?
Yeah. Why is Travis Kelce at a Swiftie concert?
I had never heard of the
I
name
don't
before
understand that.
until.
Oh yeah, he's in all the Allstate commercials. Him and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that one.
Wait, all of what commercials?
The Allstate. Oh, excuse me, the
shit.
State Farm. All the State Farms.
Don't
So,
get me started on
he-
commercials, especially insurance commercials. I can recite them all.
Yeah, I know the music, the lyrics to the music they use now. It's my husband.
That's
And the
crazy.
one with the bird. The one with the
Oh,
bird
the
in the car.
The ostrich.
Oh, the ostrich. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that commercial was just on before I walked in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Liberty commercials.
Liberty
That's
Bibberty.
right.
Liberty.
Bibbidi.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she knows it all.
You guys. And I don't even get to watch a lot of TV. It's just they did great marketing. So yeah. So if she was their ploy to get people to watch football because of all the shit that went down, like
Yes.
politically with football,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. They pulled a left fielder. Be honest with you, somebody from like beyond the football realm, and she's even more popular than Beyonce, which is crazy to me. But she's the next one, and everybody's following her. All of her billions of fans now they're migrating to football. Why not?
Sure.
They're just making money right now. So it's a smart move. Definitely a business move.
It'll be interesting if that doesn't work out for her. And you know what I mean? I hope it does. I hope it does. Whatever.
Yeah,
but if
what
it
if there's-
doesn't, I'm curious about that next year.
Yeah, but what if there's something contractual behind that right now that no one knows about? Like, what if it's contractual for the two of them to be what they are for a specific period of time and like no one knows about it, so they have to be seen on camera, they have to be seen in photos, and they have to like there's been stranger things done in media and in like lifestyle stuff like that has happened. So contractually, what if there's something behind that? We are starting our own conspiracy.
I think we would know pretty quickly, only for the reason. Here's one thing I know about her, and the main reason why I like her. I love lyrics. I love people that write their own lyrics. And she's very, very, very good at that. And she's very brutally honest about her relationships in her music. You know exactly who she's talking about. So if she puts him in any of her music, I think it's for real. If she doesn't, conspiracy.
Yeah, but when would we know that? Like, does she come out with new music and lyrics like all the time?
All the time. And then she remasters them in like her version and their version and like, oh yes. And she's just like don't listen to it, pull up some of their songs and the music and start reading the lyrics. You'll be like, holy crap. Good.
I
think that's how we'll know. Yeah, I think it's going well.
We'll know shortly. Within the next 6 months, before the next season, for sure.
I don't think she would put that in her own music.
Does she name drop?
No, she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to. She's descriptive enough, and everybody knows her history, supposedly, that you know the timeline, so you know who they're talking about. Because she'll use keywords, so you know if she's talking about a musician or a whatever. Yeah.
Holy shit! I should have been a musician. I have so many people I should write about.
We can start writing poems.
You guys have so many ideas. I've been watching the past episodes, and you guys come up with some crazy ideas. The whole reading the book in either non-sexy or sexy voices. I'm telling you, if you do that,
hilarious.
If you do the sexy voice of like the back of a toothpaste box,
yes,
that'll change people's lives from brushing their teeth. You have something here.
Yes, that's what we think. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's your opinion? Is it the erotic book serious, or is it the serious stupid shit in an erotic voice? Like, what's the opinion of it?
One,
the serious,
the serious stupid shit read by the erotic voice. That's the go. Because could you imagine if you changed the way people did things because of your voice? Not like brushing their teeth, maybe washing their face twice a day.
Oh no! Yeah.
Life agency, kicking it in. That's what it is. You're doing it.
It's the difference of saying this. Yeah, I'm gonna head to the bathroom and brush my teeth, or I'm gonna head to the bathroom and brush my teeth.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And you know how many, if you were to do it, say, just recording the audio, right? That's all you need to do, because the mind of a retarded dummy male figure is going to read into that overly to the point of like, they'll be like, oh, you did something.
I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to brush my teeth.
I might even floss. I don't know. Where we're going with that.
Oh, I got all kinds of ways to say floss. That'd be good.
So So I have to touch on this because you brought it up, not us. The stupid male.
Yeah.
We pulled up the most, we're going to make you blush, ridiculous shit on the internet yesterday with our friends. It was, I mean, what was it called? Before the actual. Oh, it was bad. It was no, it's called something, and I was like, "What is that?" And then Mathina was like, "Oh, it has another name." And then she said the name, and I was like, "Oh, it has a name."
Do you want your children to hear this episode? Because we won't talk about it if that's the case. If you want your kids to listen to this, we won't get into
this. Is a no.
My kids are adults.
Yeah, they're all adults. This is a no kid zone. Everyone, like most of our stuff.
If you've watched any of us, you know.
Yeah, this is a no kid zone, like a good majority of our stuff. But let's just say, but what's the name of it? It was called something before Mathina was like, "Oh, it's also known as," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Is it the plug?
No. After that, the boy toy.
The man's version of a dildo. That's
the man toy. Yeah.
The pocket.
Yep.
Fleshlight.
But it was a flashlight.
That's another one. Flashlight.
Yeah. Okay. Is that a brand? Or is that... Okay.
I was like, well, what do you need a flashlight for? And I got the looks of like,
we were all like, what?
And I was like, and she's like, no, a fleshlight, a pocket pussy. And I was all,
oh, got I'm on my phone Googling. I'm like, look, see this.
You can buy it on Amazon too. This is crazy.
Yes,
everything's on Amazon.
Lisa's whole Amazon history right now
the same. It's never going to be the same.
Buttholes and
men
toys.
Targeted marketing is now dirty, filthy.
Okay, so imagine having this toothbrushing and flossing conversation, and that sitting next to you in your nightstand.
Yeah,
game on.
Yeah,
we're done. We've got this.
Yep.
We've got this market
aroma
cornered.
of mint in the air.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Something about
Or
Listerine that
bubble
gets
gum.
you running
Bubblegum.
for the. Some kids can't take it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go crazy.
It's mint or bubble gum.
Yeah. Fluoride or
Yeah.
not. I'm gonna go crazy
I
tonight. Do
just
something. I'm gonna
I
mix
just
it up.
mouthwashed like crazy. I just rinsed hard. Oh God. I already feel weird.
See?
Isn't that funny?
It's too funny. It's
It is
too
funny.
funny. Yeah.
It's I'm telling you, that's a great idea. I think you should run with it. The foot idea is kind of played out. There's a million feet out there, right? A trillion feet.
I
Everybody's
was
got
doing it
two.
to make
Most
money.
of them.
I
Yeah.
was doing it to
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but it's kind of played out. Everybody's got 10 toes for the most part, right? So I think the voice part of it, I think that's where your game is. I think
What if
that's
I
the game you
lose
should go.
What if I go to 9 toes? Am I going to corner the
That's
market
actually,
that
that might
way?
be a better thing. Yeah, you might bump up. You might jump the leaderboard.
See?
For being honest, 10 toes might be the overrated part. Give me 8. You know what I mean? That might be where we're looking.
Yeah. Yeah. So
See,
you
it's
glue them
just-
together and make them webbed.
Oh,
Stop, Lisa.
the flipper.
I'm sorry. I know that's a thing, and people have that. It's a thing, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's an avenue.
There is. There's all sorts of stuff on there. I was literally looking at foot porn. And then we have these creepers that like creep up into our Instagram pages.
Ugh.
They creep into my Instagram and they find my personal one, which is, I mean, I know they're connected, but it's really weird. Then Lisa gets a dick pic and it's not good. And we were
This
like,
is the butthole one? Is this that
Yes.
butthole one?
Yes.
Yes.
What? I don't understand that.
it was
I've never
straight
understood.
from the butthole.
Yeah. It was like reach around. Like that was not an easy thing to do.
And
Yeah. That's not even a good angle. You know, when I'm having like a rough hair day, I don't take pictures. Like if I don't brush my teeth, I don't feel safe, you know. But he's taking it to the dark hole and he just let it all out. I don't understand. I don't get the mind of some men. Like I don't understand them. I'm a dude through and through, but that one's off my radar. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I know.
I keep
It
falling
was
back
really,
to
really
if
bad.
this work for you. It must work for someone because some of the stuff,
Really
Yeah. Yeah.
the lines or the invites or the I want to make you my wife, and you know, like does somebody say? I guess somebody does say yes, and it works.
There's a yes to every no, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there's somebody down there that said it.
Right. That's right.
He got lucky one time and said, "Yeah, 1 out of 1,000,000. I'll take it. There's a chance."
Just throw it out there. At least they're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If nothing else, right? Yeah. You brought it to light.
Yeah.
That
What
is
if it's somebody you know? What if it's somebody you know?
It could be
And they
somebody
did
we
that?
know, and it's not them.
maybe.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's the internet, but
It was really no, because you can kind of like fish out those photos. I feel like that are like internet buttholes.
I feel like what we should try, and I know this has been done, and I can't remember where I've heard it, but the next time we get one, we send one back. But you know what we send back? Another dick pic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're
Do
winning
it.
a girl pic. Just send a dick pic.
That would deter a lot. Yeah, that would be deterring a lot.
Okay,
Or-
that's not gonna work.
A friend of mine.
So you're saying you wouldn't want to get a dick pic? That's a no.
No, that's a hard pass. Hard pass.
That's not like a good tactic.
I've checked. No, yeah, that wouldn't work on me. Not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
It would keep you from sending another one, though, right? You'd be like, "Well, I'm not going to make that hurt." Yeah.
Oh, that's when you delete the conversation, block that person. Yeah. You just move on to the next.
Yeah.
Guys are relentless.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find somebody that likes it.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, wait. You were saying a good friend of yours did what?
Oh yeah, she decided that she wouldn't just send a dick pic; she would send one with some type of venereal disease attached to said dick pic, and that changed the entire. She said, "Whenever I do that, nobody sends me a second. Like that's gross, or why would you do it? Nobody says anything. They just kind of cut ties."
I love it.
So that's a genius move.
It really is.
Really risky though, because if that gets out to the wrong person, they're gonna say you have that in person. So, but it's worked. she's doing it. She's living it big.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough of the dick pics.
Yeah.
So you part of why we wanted to talk to you is you and some of your friends are actually in the process of starting a
Mhm.
podcast. And
Yeah.
the name of this is The Odd Man Out, right? So share with us a little bit about that. We're super excited to get to share that with all of our listeners, certainly, and support you. So share with us like what that's all about, how you guys got started with this idea. Like, I mean, we've kind of shared how we got into this and why we started doing it, and it's been so much fun for us. So we obviously love when we hear like people are like, we really want to do this. So yeah, share with us what this is all about and why you guys are doing it.
Yeah. Just a little background on me. I went to school for radio, TV broadcasting. So, and if you've seen me before, you might have seen me at Skateline. I was a DJ for 5 years there. So that's another reason why the voice, I got all this like radio energy that I got to let out. So this is the perfect platform. Like I was saying earlier too, is like my friends and I, we all jumped on a Zoom call and we were just having a good time, just talking to each other and kind of riffing off just the faces, right? Usually you have somebody gets up and walks away or the conversation kind of dies out. But when you're in this platform, the conversation kind of flows and everybody has a good time and we can see everybody laughing at the same thing. So we took that idea and this was probably about a year or two ago. And I was like, you know what? Let's build a podcast. So I just soft tossed it and everybody was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And then for the last year or so, I've been kind of wrapping up until just recently. So I said, let's create a podcast. And I have a perfect name for us. It's called The Odd Man Out. And they're like, I don't get it. Well, just to put it in perspective why the name came up is because there's always one of us that isn't in the group. So 4 of us went to Chandler High. One of them didn't. We have all known each other for 20 years, except for one of them that wasn't around. 4 of us worked at T-Mobile. One of them did it. So there's always these odd like things. For me, I'm a grandfather. I'm the first one in our group. I'm the odd man out. I'm the old man in the group. So there's just all these cool little things that kind of leave that one person out. So it kind of fit to be the odd man out. One of the big things that we want to do and kind of just the whole reason for a podcast too is to share these conversations of like things that we've done and not necessarily to brag that we've done them, but like to bring it to you and say, yeah, I remember when I did that. Or yeah, I should go talk to, Louie and we did the same thing or whatever. Cause I want to bring up that nostalgia because in this age group, we're at this old age or we're too old to go to the bars and hang out with those guys. We're not old enough to go hang out at the American Legion and drink beers with the old timers because they got different stories, right? So we're kind of in this really cool age group of we're in the half technology, half not, right? So we're having fun. So that's the idea is to kind of go about this conversation and just have fun and let everybody know that we've done exactly what you've done too. And then one of the other things that we want to do, just like you and Jared, we want to go and travel to all the different stadiums, all the big stadiums first during a big rival game. So like the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens and maybe the Red Sox and the Yankees. We want to go and see those games in their natural, like big time head clashing type of moments and podcast from that too. So those are kind of the ideas and we want to run with that and see what fun it happens. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait.
That's one of the things.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of the things I would say that we, just recently have kind of, I mean, it sounds like you've been listening to the podcast. So this year has been one of the years where we're like, we've got all of these like goals, not just for us as a podcast, but also like personally, professionally. I think because the two of us are like business owners and best friends for so long, and we kind of have all these things, like we wrap all these things up together somehow. Like it just is like, this is what I want to do. And then it's like, okay, well, let's just do it together because we know that we can hold each other accountable to it. And so, we try to have these conversations. I feel like we talk about these things a lot. Like almost every time we get done recording, we stick together on the phone and we're like, all right, this is what we're going to do next time, or this is what we're going to do this week or next month. And so it's so much fun. And one of the things that we've been talking about this last few weeks is a goal that we really want to implement is getting out and about to record. And we haven't been able to not necessarily maybe figure it out up until now, but yesterday was the first time that we were like, we were super excited. We just got this brand new camera for the podcast. And so we used it yesterday for the first time, and I was editing off of it this morning. And now I'm like super stoked. And I reached out to Lisa and I was like, we're doing this. Like, we're taking it out. We're going live. Like, I'm super excited. So it's like, absolutely take those dreams that you guys have and make them real, and don't get disappointed when it doesn't happen like right away in your timeline. We've been doing this for over a year and a half now. And so we're just now getting to that point where we're like, all right, let's do this. And it was this year that we started setting some of those like real steadfast goals. And we're like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And yeah, so it's super fun every step of the way. But I think what you guys have going right now is a cool, good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm hoping that I don't want to be famous. This isn't, I just like the idea of just having a conversation, you know. I like this right now. This is a lot of fun. This is, you know, we're having laughs, we're enjoying the moment, and time flies, you know. And then last thing I want to do is go, dang, we should have done that, right? That would have been really cool to do, to have these conversations on record, or, you know, be recorded as we're laughing and having a good time. So I'm hoping, because we're such good friends, and, you know, we've been friends for a long time through thick and a lot of thin and all that other stuff, but it'll just make it more organic, and people like to listen to us be dumb. You know, that's all it is. We're a bunch of dummies having a conversation on TV or on the screen. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. Are you going to be? Are you going to do YouTube as well, like video, or?
Yeah, we want to try and hit whatever the video is portion of it. So YouTube would probably be the best place to start, because that is worldwide, right? So everybody can kind of get to it. When we start to get down to the more specific details of it, we'll probably reach out to you guys, because you guys seem to have a fairly decent grasp on it so far. So I'll reach out to you guys. But for the most part, yeah, we'll hit the basics. YouTube, probably post to Spotify, because it's a little easier that way. I like this platform here, so we'll probably figure it out and see what dance we dance. You know what I mean?
That's cool. All of us will have to get together once you get rolling. That'd be pretty funny.
That would be a lot of fun, actually. To be honest with you, the conversations that you guys have kind of blend in, and if you want to turn some guys red, that'll be good ones to have. That'll be for sure.
Yeah. It's interesting. We, I mean, obviously we have a lot of fun together, and I think that every conversation that Lisa and I have, we could probably record and post it. And it's again, it wasn't until you know, a few months back that we were like, we really want to make sure. We've always had some guests on the show, but it wasn't until a few months back, that we said, like, we need to make that a more consistent thing, to share other people with the world, like the other people in our world with the world, because like you, like, this is funny as shit, and we're learning shit that we didn't know about, and it's like from topic to topic to topic, and it's so us. And so you will find that too, and we get to hit a whole bunch of different you know, types of topics, and I think it's really important that we do that. And we have a wide, you know, range of people that listen and watch, and they're from all walks of life, I feel like, and watching for all reasons. And so I just think it's super cool. So if you guys have that dynamic between you, run with it. Yeah. So it'll be fun to get to hear that once it's up and going, and we'll have you guys on again for sure.
Like I said, I'm super excited to get these guys on film, to have these conversations and see how far it goes. Because like I said, I don't want to be famous. That's not the point. I just want to have a lot of fun. But if we can have some really cool fun in between there and go see some really cool things, I'm all about it. I'm super cool about it. One of the things I thought was funny, this is how I caught wind of you guys, okay? My wife is sitting at the kitchen table eating, right? And she hears the story when Lisa was trying to save a coyote.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And that was probably one of the funniest stories, because you were dead serious about wanting to save that wild dog, and he was not having it. And thank God, because had you got that thing in your car, I can only imagine the mess of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lady saves Coyote. Why?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, don't take yourself so seriously. I don't take myself seriously. I know I do stupid shit all the time. I say stupid stuff. It's just who we are. You just can't take yourself too seriously. And there's a lot of people out there that appreciate that kind of thing and just, want to hear real people talk about real stuff. And
we have had too many what the fucks in our life. Like,
yes, we're magnets.
If we rewind back to like, I don't know, how many years ago would this be? The boyfriend with the dad who was the mom, but then a new dad.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't me. That was Lisa. Mm-hmm. But I was like, when this whole thing,
a long time ago, mm-hmm.
So long ago. But it's like,
first time ever coming across that,
ever, and no one knew about it. And then all of a sudden it was like, not even, I say boyfriend, it wasn't even a boyfriend. It was like, went on a date. We went bowling together, a group of us from work. And this guy came with us. And then it was like, wait, what? Your what is your what?
Just fine.
We're totally fine with it.
We just explain.
Give a little bit of information first. Like, don't
background.
Yeah. And then there's some things where this happens every day in our lives. I used to teach for a kid. I showed up to a house and they were like, my dad, or they named a name, isn't home yet. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, oh, we're leaving on a trip, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm waiting for a man to walk in the door. A she-man walked in the door. And I went back to the other family that referred me to this family. And I was like, you should have known to say something to me. Do you know me? Like, the look on my face was probably priceless. I felt so blindsided. After that, I was totally fine. I saw this family all the time. They were the sweetest couple.
Right.
But someone tell me that the dad turned into a second mom.
Yes.
That's information that everybody should know.
Right. Not that we care or judge, but it's like, let us not, because we can't hide our face or expressions.
No.
We don't want to offend them in any way. We don't want to offend anybody. So if we had if you get a heads up, you're not.
Yeah. So when
make them feel uncomfortable.
When we came together and we were like, what are we naming this? It was clear that we have had just too many of these, like, what the fuck just happened. That it was like, it was perfect. And there's still so many of them. Like, I could literally, like, if I wrote down every one of those moments and like grabbed them out of a little hat at my desk and I was like, today's what the fuck is going to be this. It would be like, I could just read one every day and like make people's drive to work amazing, because I feel like, I was telling Lisa the other day, we always talk about our vehicles, right? I've had one of my cars parked in my garage for a little while. I've been driving my little Honda around because I drive so much. Well, I pulled my other car out and I've been driving it for a few days. Sure as shit, I parked that Audi back in the fucking garage with 3 rocks in my windshield. I got to get a new windshield now. I'm like, you're staying in the garage. You are going to stay in that garage. You're in trouble. Like, it's
always something
never ending that the world is not out to get me. I don't believe that. But it's like, someone is like, hey, bitch, I'm coming after you today. You want something funny? Coming after you today. Yeah.
Just when you think you're in
karma.
The clear.
It's a karma thing, but you're like, where did the karma come from? Why am I you must have the wrong Danielle. Let's just say I think you categorized me in the wrong group.
Yeah. We should do. You did have a great sexy toothpaste voice, so we should get you recorded reading a toothpaste box for us.
Oh yeah.
So we can put it somewhere, because I'm gonna market this so no one else do this. Like, we're the only people that are allowed to do this, but we are going to do this. And yours was too fucking funny to not put somewhere.
Yeah, that was good. It was inspirational.
But you have to say that it's like rolling down your mouth
foamy,
and like
dripping. You're dripping.
It has to be worth the recording.
It tastes so
Gotcha.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
All of it.
God.
It has to be
My
all
wife
of
is gonna
it.
be so weird about this. Just so we're clear, she's gonna look at me like I'm a crazy person. I'm like, hey, I'm doing it for our future, okay?
Yeah.
Faith. Yeah.
Be like, hey, Gina, can you record this for me? I'm busy doing something, so I just need you to hit record.
Yeah.
What will she say? What is she going to say to you?
Oh, she would drop everything and go, "What's wrong with you? What
Yes, I know.
did you wake up drunk today? Are you high as hell right now?" Those are words that she would use.
And
Literally.
you have to do one of her faces. You have to be like,
Yeah.
Oh, her. This is her face all the time.
Yep. It has to be like, yeah, like what?
Just angry at me, just for being here. We've been together for 20 years. That's all it is. And you're still alive. We're not even at that age yet where like she has to check me. No, he's still here. All right, he's still
I was
breathing.
like, stop. We're not that old. So I know you mentioned that you're a grandpa. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
No, thank you.
Well, you're not just a one-time grandpa. You're a
Two.
two-time grandpa.
Wow.
Yes.
Two-time grandpa. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
So I keep threatening the life of my oldest. She's getting married in April. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have old skin yet. I'm not going to be a grandma. Don't do it yet. And so, yeah, I commend you guys for being grandparents because I am nearly refusing to actually be a grandma when it's not in my control. And she's going to be married. But I'm like, I don't have old skin yet. Dad does, but not me, not yet. So by all means, you can do whatever you want to him, but not to me.
You know what's crazy though about being a grandfather? I didn't think before it. I was like, oh no, that G name is gonna come up real quick, and they're gonna start using it. It's almost like hearing dad or your first name anyways, because that's what it is now. It's like you just kind of adapt to it in an odd way. I didn't want to be a grandfather. Trust me, I'm 38 years old. I didn't want to be a grandfather. And I was thinking, this is way too soon. And then it happens, and you see them, and you see them walking, and then they're doing all the talking things. And mom and dad, and to you, when you have your kids, you're like, my kids better not run to grandma. They better not run to grandma. Well, they're running to me as grandpa, and I'm like, all right, they like me. They like me enough. They're around. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I've had more fun with them than I had my own kids. Don't tell them that. But they're...
I hear that a lot.
Honestly, yeah, I've had a lot of fun because not necessarily because I stuff them with candy and send them on their way, but it's just the weird adaptiveness and the weird like relationship and the weird love that you have for these little ones that like I don't know why I like you so much, but I really like you being around until they start screaming, and then I'm like, get out of here, you bother me, kid.
Yep.
But
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You're not going to have any like really cool sports chances with these two, right?
There might be some sports in them. One of them has an arm, and they're both girls,
right?
So it's one of them just turned 2 back on the 10th, and the other one's going to turn 2 in June on the 9th. So, but between the two of them, okay, so Derek was the athlete. He was the youngest. He's the one that's Hayden's age. And he played football. He did all the sports that, I kind of forced him to do. But his daughter has an arm. She can throw. So there might be some sports in the future for her.
Sure.
Ariella, which is my daughter's. So Haley played soccer. Well, let's say Haley was on the field. She didn't necessarily play soccer. The ball came to her. She didn't know what to do. She let it roll by. She was more the physical enforcer of the team. I don't know how many times she was like penalized for kicking the other girl or tackling the other girl. So that's Ariella in the future. So she could be a linebacker for some professional team by that time. Who knows? That's her road. Goalie. Yeah, she can play hockey. She can do all those things. So that's probably more of her route. But both of them, there's very likely to be some sports in there. So I'm not too worried just yet. They are girly girl though. They like to have the bows in the hair. They like to wear the little dresses. They're cute as can be, but there is some future sports.
Not ready for that yet.
No, yeah. Well, ready or not, it's coming. So I saw Hayden on that episode with Jenica, sorry. And she was showing me pictures, and I saw her in those pictures going, what, is that a boy? get that boy out of the picture. What is going on here? You are still 3 to me. I haven't. You get that. Stop all this. Stop everything. Edit that picture. I don't care. It's the craziest thing to me. It's such a wild adventure. She's getting married already.
Strange. It's strange to think that they're even because I sometimes don't think I'm this old. And I'm, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And then I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, my oldest is getting married. And they're like, you do not have a kid that old. And I'm like, oh, I do. I just don't have old skin yet. So yeah, it's certainly the weirdest thing to think that we are, well, Lisa and I were talking about it. We are, I'm like poking at you with a highlighter.
Yeah.
We are, what did you say?
There are more years behind us than there are ahead of us.
I hope not.
Isn't that scary?
But, yeah, it's true. It's very true.
I know.
We'll say more fun years, right?
Sure.
More fun, more mobile years, more capable years, I guess.
Did you say more mobile?
Yeah, because there's no way that we're going to be able to walk in our late 70s. I'm already beaten up now. So.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant more mobile ahead of us, and I was like, "Oh, friend,
no,
I don't think
this is
so.
decline, like a fast decline."
Yeah, we're on the slope downhill.
I'm not waving at you guys. There's like
a little bug.
I think so.
Yeah, I know.
I'm dancing. It's Sunday, and I'm dancing.
Yeah.
I feel like the next thing you do is have chopsticks in there. Yeah.
Try.
I ate with chopsticks last night.
We did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of us is a pro. Some of us are
pro. Yeah, I'm not bad. I mean, I owned the chopsticks.
Call that a sport.
I bought them.
Call that.
She's like, I bought them. Like I bought them for this.
Yeah. I want to start making up new sports because that's what this world needs. And chopsticking.
Yeah.
What can you pick up?
I successfully fed my sister-in-law a giant slice of cake with chopsticks.
Sport.
Successfully.
Yep. There's a picture of it.
Yeah, pictures, and it's not like a little piece. We're talking like a big restaurant, like birthday.
It was like a whole slice of like giant chocolate cake from a restaurant.
And I just picked it up with the chopsticks and fed her with it. Because they didn't think I could do it. So
yeah, I didn't. You said it, and I think it was real. I thought that you were making some stuff up. That's awesome.
No, there was evidence. Cool. There was evidence of this. Yeah,
video evidence.
It was real. It was certainly real.
Yeah.
So, what sports do you want to know about? Because I feel like there's a question here. There's information we want to know since we got time.
Well, I sort of do want to know, like.
Someone should make a cheat sheet or like flashcards, like the basics for us. You know what I mean? Like
impossible.
My questions are more about the
just like rules at the uniform.
Oh, basic rules. Okay, yeah. Like almost like a flashcard to make it simple, right? Because some of these rules get pretty like you don't need all the verbiage, you don't need all the explanation. You hit them, that's foul. Plain and simple. But yeah.
Great.
No, that does not even answer the question. In football, there's a lot of. Oh wait, I do have questions though. So in football, why is it that some of them, and this is about uniforms again, I heard Jared was telling me like, oh yeah, they can get fined for like the way that their shirt is or like their socks and like what, but then why are they like crop top in their shit and like then they've got their like their like panza hanging out and stuff, like what is going on? How do they not get fines for like their belly hanging out, but they can get fines for like their socks and like what is this?
Yeah. Well, bellies come in all sizes, and some of those sizes are 350.
So do shirts.
That's true. That's very true. But when you have shoulder pads on, right, they are buckled across your chest to as tight as can be. So what happens is when you start to sweat, the shirt hangs, right? So it's going to get bigger, but it also with that, it's going to rip or tear because there isn't a material out there that's strong enough to withstand another 350-pound man pulling on you. So what happens to the shirt and why you see the bellies is because of a lot of that reason. I don't know about more offensive linemen or defensive linemen, but it's more lately the linebackers, the guys that are behind the defense in the middle. Have you seen? You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't know the
Okay.
difference.
So
I just know there's a lot of people on the field running
The
around.
linebackers are bigger usually. I know that much.
they're the ones so there's the big, huge monster guys, right? Those are the defensive linemen. They're the ones that are hands down in the dirt 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
There's guys that play right behind them, which are the linebackers. There's either 3 or 4. Some teams will use 2, but 3 or 4, depending on the defense that they're in, but 3 or 4. And those guys are slightly bigger than the corners, but they're smaller than the defensive line. So they're the in-between guys. They're the ones that are like when the hole opens up in the middle and the running back's trying to run through, they're the ones that are plugged that hole. So, but those guys have lately been cutting their shirts up to like show off bellies. And I'm like, dude, I don't know who you're showing out for. It's a bunch of dudes watching you. So tuck the shirt in. You know, I know they want the female audience, but use that for a different time.
So the
More
defensive
dudes,
line is the butt plug.
Those are the bellies.
Wait, what'd you say?
Sure. We'll say the linebackers are that.
The
Yes.
linebackers are the butt plug.
Yes.
They're the stopper
football game.
on
They're
the.
the stopper.
The run stopper. Yeah, the run
Yeah.
stopper.
Mhm.
Got it. So let's put
If
this
you
in
tell
terms
any of your
of-
friends or husbands that I said that the linebackers are butt plugs of the football league, they'll never listen to this episode.
Yeah.
I am putting this in terms that we might understand based on the
Sure.
research that we just did.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it might be helpful if you can follow along with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So who are
Sure, I
the
got you.
anal beads?
Yes.
The anal beads.
The ones that slowly get plucked out.
Yeah. So like
Oh,
who's in the game, but then they like kind of like
receivers.
okay.
Receivers. Yeah, they interchange out quite a bit. They
They're
move from
receivers.
one end to the other. Yeah, the receivers. Yeah.
All right.
This conversation is on.
The receivers are
The receivers.
Yeah, the receivers. Yeah.
You said
And the running
receivers.
backs. Okay. The receivers. Okay.
because they're going down quick. They're like out.
Who's the
Yeah.
lube? Who's the lube?
They're 3 and 4. They're 3 or 4. The loop. We'll say the offensive lineman.
Who makes everything go smoothly?
Well, I don't know if that guy's on the field. We'll say that. That's not the guy that's on the field. That would be the head coach. He's the coach. Is the loop because he's the one that controls the in and out, the ease of the game.
The glide.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the coach. He's the ease. He's making it easy for everybody to take. All right, I'll say that.
There
So
you
what's
go.
the kicker?
The kicker, he's a once in a while thing. So what would that be? He's only there for safety to pick up like an easy score, or
Oh.
He's
he's
like
a
the
condom.
flashlight.
He's like like a one
He's
and
the
done.
flashlight.
He's
He could be the flashlight. Yeah, he's only around for.
for a
He
good
only
time.
shows up. Yeah,
When
3
the
or 4
other
times a
guys are on
game.
vacation.
Yeah, he's there. Like if they can't score, right? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, if they can't score, if they can't get in the end zone, the kicker comes in. He's your flashlight.
Gotcha.
I'm actually starting to understand football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, based off cover.
Whatever works. Whatever works. Whatever we can remember.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We just had such a long conversation about these things last night that it's easier to put into context around this.
It's fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll run with it. So yeah, the lube is the coach. The flashlight is your kicker. The receivers are your anal beads.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Okay.
butt plug is the linebackers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll use
That
the
is-
offensive line.
Yeah,
Offensive
so-
line, which is the bigger guys that are protecting the quarterback, right?
Mhm.
We'll use that as the condom.
Condom. Mm-hmm. Birth control. Okay.
Yeah, birth control. Those are the birth controls. I don't know how you want to reference the quarterback, but however
What's
you
he
think
do?
of that.
What do they do?
He's the guy that throws the ball.
Okay.
and he hands the ball off. He's the Tom Brady. That's who Tom Brady is.
Okay.
He's sort of like the testosterone. He's
The
like,
porn star.
get it going. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
the oysters, the testosterone, the porn star. He's like,
He's the talent.
Okay.
He's the on-screen talent.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I see.
so everyone, you heard that. That's football in a nutshell, coming straight
Yeah.
from Steve with
Yep.
Odd Man Out. That's how he teaches football.
Yeah.
We didn't make him teach it to us like that. It's basically how he teaches football.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you have questions, reach out to me.
Sure.
There's
Yeah.
that.
Online classes. I'll do any sport you need.
Can you
just
draw a
come to me.
picture with like the X's and the O's?
Oh
but
my
can you make
God.
him the actual pictures?
Yes. Can we 3D print some little game pieces that look like little and
Butt
just make a
plugs
board?
running around the field.
Yeah. Just make a little
Butt
board.
plugs, I might do that just for the fun of it. No.
Yeah. In their actual positions. So we know
Mhm.
where they all go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way you're going to understand it, right? When you see it on the field. When the product is on the field, that's how you're going to know it.
Mhm.
I can do that.
We wouldn't understand otherwise.
You know what? I want to
Well,
know.
what's going to be funny? What's going to be funny is you're going to go to a football game and you're going to see these references at a football game with other people around.
And they're gonna be like,
Why is she talking about butt plugs? Is that the butt plug? They're going to research.
No one
Yeah.
would think it's
Information.
weird coming from me.
yeah,
Not one person.
this lube is expired. He's gonna have to go. We're gonna need a new bottle of lube. This one's not working this year.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to have to trade out this flashlight. He
Yeah.
hasn't scored in weeks.
Yep. It's getting too loose.
Getting a little long in the tooth there. And
Yeah.
he ain't doing what he used to do.
Expiration dates. Yep.
Oh
Mhm.
man. Speaking of those, like there were some that had teeth on them.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Steve, it was disturbing. It was rubber or not. It looked bizarre. It looked.
It had like a smile. It was like
A smile.
exactly like that.
Lisa just made the face. It was it
was the weirdest thing.
It was like it was like the mouth and the nose, and then it was like smiling, and then its mouth was open, but it had teeth. And we were all
Oh no.
no.
I always want to know what they referenced for that face. Who did they get? Right?
Like a
A
mold.
man.
Sure.
It was a man's
Yeah.
face for sure.
Yeah.
It was not a female.
Oh, that's even worse. It makes it weird. But like, because no way. I couldn't do that.
It was terrible. It was the weirdest thing ever, but it was certainly like it was this of a man. It was not a
Of a man.
female. Like there were no female
I mean,
features on this.
It was for the other community, but
Yeah.
it was still weird. It was still like wild looking. Like it's the teeth is just I don't know. Isn't that like the worst part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the worst part of that.
Yeah, there's like what's the percentage? It's got to be really small of people that are into the. Because one girl was like, I can't remember who said it last night. Oh yeah, sometimes I like a little light teeth, and I'm like, really? What percentage of people is that? Because I think it might be really low. So they're piecing to
There are certain things that I'm curious about, like information. So like, tell me the percentage. But then I'm like, I don't want to use that in my everyday life. That 1 out of every 20 people like that, or I'm counting the people in the store. I'm like, 2 of them like that. At least 2 people in there like that.
Yeah, you
You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Isn't it a curious poll that you'd like to know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd love to know, but then I would use it every day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, working at T-Mobile for 15 years, I every person I walk in, I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that likes it. You can tell. You can see it on his face.
And
then and then those toys, you're going to start using those faces and go, that could have been his face. That definitely could have been his face.
You're reading people now. You're like, oh,
yeah,
it's you.
yeah.
Yeah, I know why you paid the bill.
It could be helpful. I know, it comes off like you don't want to think that, but in certain situations, like maybe public speaking for some people, or maybe even like in a difficult meeting or conversation, if you start thinking of those things about those people, it makes it much easier to get through.
Oh, the flow. Yeah. Like the whole thing with, imagine everybody's naked.
Exactly.
I don't know. Some people don't want to see they're naked, but I get why they do it.
That's an old one. Now it's, what kind of toy do they like?
Do you know what gets me every time is when people are like, we're having a baby. That's when people are like, we're having a baby. And I'm like, oh,
you did that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, oh, you had.
Oh, congratulations.
It's such a real thing, but still I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Oh,
that happened. Yeah.
Oh.
There's some people I'm like, oh, congratulations. That's so great. There's other people where I'm like,
the visual just hit me.
Huh.
Well,
yeah.
Good for you guys.
Almost like when
you and him.
Almost like as bad as the realization when you realize your parents. I mean, that happened. That's
yeah. How do you think we're populated?
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many things. I still think like a 12-year-old, if we're being honest. Like I would like to believe that I'm mature and all these things. So when conversations like that come up and go, oh, all right, well.
You are sitting here with us right now, right? You've been hearing that we're talking about butt plugs.
I feel like you know us by now. Definitely, you know Dee, but you probably know me pretty well by now too, if you've listened to any of that. So.
But it's such a shocking, like, I don't want to be this mature to know these things. Like, I don't want to have to realize those conversations happen in part of the world that has them. I don't like it, but it is what it is, I guess. Or like when you to know that people are dating. Like one of my friends was dating and like, yeah, we've been here for 6 months, and we're like, oh man, I know what you guys do. I have a really I don't know. Like I know you, dude, and I know you're not romantic, so I can imagine what that was like, and you're probably weird.
What that was like.
Yeah,
you're
oh man.
Weird.
Yeah, so weird. You're awkward as it is. I can't imagine that's a weird thing for you.
Funny.
I love it.
It's great.
Well, what we would like is an actual diagram of this football field.
Sure.
We need a diagram of the football field.
Rough draft.
With the players, so we can show people what you taught us today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And what we think would be killer awesome is if we can have you and the odd man out group on with us. So make it happen. And if you can't make it happen, we are actually just going to stalk you guys to get back on with us to make it happen.
Even better.
And I think that we are going to play this big part in helping release episode number 1 for the Odd Man Out. So all right.
This conversation here could be the launching point of something huge, and I think so. I'm going to give you two ladies all the credit for it. You guys are going to be the fire to my gasoline. We'll say that.
We're pretty cool. Like,
we'll even let you guys do the male voices of the toothpaste and the, like we'll do the female voices, but you guys can do the, like we could do conversations.
Oh, like a dental conversation?
Yes.
I mean,
like here's your bill. We're going to have to.
Yeah, just so you're clear.
You have a really dirty cavity in your mouth. I mean,
can we get like? Can we deep breathe into our mics like that? Because I feel like that's the only way.
Well, when you're close, right? When you're close as a dentist, you're all up in the mouth, right?
Oh my God. We're like deep inside of their mouth. Like, I'm going to get deep inside your mouth. So, I mean, that's what's going to happen.
It's going to be good.
There may be some gagging involved later. Don't worry.
Okay, so let's be real. I do have a very professional job in dentistry that I absolutely love. And I'm not getting deep inside anyone.
All right.
But
all right.
I will get deep down and dirty in a lot of things. No, so we really do think it would be lots of fun to get you guys on with us. Let's make this happen. I'm super committed, so I'm not going to leave you alone. And we'll get you guys on the air with us. Let's get you recorded. Let's get you up and going. And
Cool.
I think it's fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I think
Can't wait.
today was a blast. I think we learned a whole lot about who you are, what you're doing with your grandkids. I think is so much fun. I hope they end up being huge sports fanatics like you are. And I really admire what you and your friends are going to do. Go tour the stadiums and as many as you can. It is super cool. These like behind the scenes things it's things you would never see just going to a ball field. It's the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I appreciate you guys letting me come on here too. A lot of what you guys do, I appreciate too, being wives of police officers and being in that lifestyle, and that's a lot of stress. So what you guys are doing, getting out into the community, reaching out to all these people that are some of the people that you've interviewed, just for instance, you let them have that platform to maybe talk about themselves, and coming from somebody that might know their situation and understanding where they're coming from you two is a big deal. So what you guys are doing are awesome. That's why I've been nervous and excited at the same time for the last couple of weeks to get on here to talk to you guys, but it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
Thanks.
fun. You'll be back. We'll be back.
That. Yeah, that's a big plug for what we're doing. So I like from both of us, we really, really appreciate that. We're working really hard to make sure that community of people stays tight and that they remember that there's always people to reach out to, whether it's just a simple conversation or if it's for resources that they need. Being mental health advocates for not just self-care, but also for that law enforcement community. It's such a big deal when people like you hear that and understand the importance of it. So yeah, big deal. So thanks for supporting that.
Absolutely.
Well, we will certainly be back with Steve and the boys. And so listen for that episode. Coming up this next few weeks, we're going to be dropping a lot of fun episodes. We've got a bonus episode coming up here within the week of the 4 gals having a fun night of Would You Rather questions being answered. So do not miss that. We've got a really important episode coming up with Heidi Chance. She is a retired detective with Phoenix PD, and she is now highly involved in working sex trafficking cases of kids. And so we are going to be talking with her and learning everything about what she's doing and educating the community here in Arizona. So we're really excited to be bringing to you guys what she's doing. So don't miss these episodes coming up, and certainly don't miss when we bring Steve and the boys back on. Steve, thank you again so much for coming on with us today. And everyone, we will be back with you soon.
Bye.
Bye.